There's no sound, Rabbi.
We welcome the Shabbat with lighting of Shabbat candles. It's my pleasure to invite Susan Amaro to light candles for us, and we are on pages 120 and 121.
Help me perfect my ways of loving and caring. Inspire me to make myself whole, so that I may honor your name and create a world of peace.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. We are on page 138 with the words of Lecha Dodi as we welcome Shabbat as though she is a bride, and we are so grateful to see her smiling, walking into our room. Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekavela Lecha Dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekavela Shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי היא מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נשוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please rise in the ways that you're able and face the entrance. בואי ושלום עצרת בלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת כלה, פני שבת נקבלה. Please be seated. And we are on page 142 for the words of Shalom Aleichem. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharetz, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitzchem leshalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Everywhere we go, as we enter, as we encounter others, as we leave and move on to another new place, may we find peace. We are on page 146 with the words of Baruch Hu. Please rise in the ways that you are able. Yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai 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 Please be seated. And we turn to page 148 for the words of Ma'ariv Aravim. Let's read together in the English. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 152. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha Veshinantam levanecha, v'dibarta bam, v'shivtecha b'veitecha, uvlechtecha b'derech, uvshochbecha uvkumecha, ukshartam leot al yadecha, v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha, uchtabtam al mezuzot beitecha uvisharecha lema'an tiskeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kadoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim Lihiot lachem le'Elohim, ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. It's my pleasure to invite Ted Bressler to share with us a reading as we prepare for Mi Chamocha.
They say cold feet are a sign of turning back, a failure of internal will. But I say it can be the other way, the body's anticipation of things to come. Whether demons are nipping at your heels or gnawing within, here's the thing. Settle quietly, close your eyes, then take the most deliberate deep breath, as though at your very first, God's breath. And when you can feel it penetrate every bit of your being, making the rest of your life possible, you open your eyes and take that first step out into the sea of reeds. Watered feet are just the price of coming home.
Thank you. We continue on page 158 with the words of Mi Chamocha. Just one moment. There we go. Ya la la ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 la. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai mi tefele, nora tehilot tosefele. Malechutecha ra'u vanecha bokeyayam lifnei Moshe u'Miriam, Ze'elianu ve'amru, Ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed, Adonai imloch le'olam va'ed. Yai lai lai, yai la la la, yai la lai, yai lai lai la lai la 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 lai, yai lai la lai, yai la la la, yai la lai, yai la lai lai, yai la 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai la lai lai lai. Before we continue with the words of Hashkivenu, let's pause for a moment and think about the rest that we are hoping for ourselves this Shabbat, the rejuvenation that we hope to feel, and what we hope others will feel as they come out of Shabbat. We are on page 160 at the bottom of the page. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim, shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim, ve'al kol amo, ve'al Yerushalayim, shalom. Baruch atah Adonai haborei sukat shalom. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. Shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael. We continue with the microphone maze. There we go. We continue with our tefillah, the core part of our service on page 164. Please rise in all the ways that you are able as we face east. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Elohim Avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el HaGadol, HaGibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, Vekonei Hakol, Vezocher Chastei Avot V'imahot, Umevi Geula Livnei B'neihem, Lema'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch Atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Ve'ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol Atah Rav LeHoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chayim Bechesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Verofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Ba'al Gevurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechaye, Umatzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atah L'Hachayot HaKol, Baruch Atah Adonai, Mechaye HaKol. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kadoshim b'chol yom Yahalelucha Selah. Baruch Atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Please take a moment for your own silent prayer, and when your prayer is complete, feel free to be seated. We are on 180 for the words of Yehi L'Ratzon. Yehi L'Ratzon, Imre fi, Ve'yon libi, We now come to Seder Kriyat HaTorah, the service for the reading of the Torah, which can be found on page 362. And it is my pleasure to invite up Alan Eisenbruck, who will be our Torah holder this evening, and for everyone else to please rise. We are on page 362. Ein kamocha va'Elohim Adonai ve'ein kemasecha malechutecha malechut kol olamim umemshaltecha bechol dor v'ador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai imloch leolam vad Adonai oz le'amo yitein Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom Av harachamim heitiv avirtzoncha et Zion tivnei chomot Yerushalayim kivecha levad batachnu melech el ram v'nisa Adon olamim ki mitzion tetzei Torah ki mitzion tetzei Torah udevar Adonai mirushalayim Baruch shenatan Torah Torah Baruch shenatan Torah Torah le'amo Yisrael b'kedushato Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad Echad Eloheinu Gadol Adonenu Kadosh Shemo Gadlul Adonai iti Unerom ema Shemo yachdav Lecha Adonai Hagedulach v'hagevurach v'hatiferet v'hanetzach v'hahod Ki chol b'shamayim uvaretz Ki chol b'shamayim uvaretz Lecha Adonai הממלכה והמית נעשה לכל לראש על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים על שלושה דברים העולם עומד. Please be seated. It is my pleasure to invite Sean Rahman, who will be reading Torah for us this evening. We're so grateful for the Torah that he'll be sharing with us. We are on page 1508 of the Torah commentary, where we will be reading from Parshat Ki Tavo, Deuteronomy 26, verses 1 through 8. And for our Aliyah this evening, it's my pleasure to invite up Michelle Eisenbruck.
Baruch hu et Adonai havarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai havarach leolam va'ed. Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim. V'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch ata Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen.
Amen. V'chaya kitavo hel haaretz asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha nachala v'rishta v'shavta bach v'lekachta Mereshit kol peri ha'adama asher tavi me'atzecha asher Adonai Elohecha noten lecha v'samta batena v'halavta el hamakom asher yivchar Adonai Elohecha leshaken shemo sham uvata el hakohen asher Yehye Elohecha leshaken shemo sham uvata el hakohen asher yehye bayamim hachem ve'amata elah higati hayom l'Adonai Elohecha kivati el haaretz asher nishba Adonai la'avotenu la'atet lanu Velaka akohen hatena miadecha vehiniho lifnei meshbach Adonai Elohecha va'anita ve'amata lifnei Adonai Elohecha Arami Oved Ari Vayeret Mitzrayma Vayagosham Bimte Me'at Vayhisham Legoy Gadol Atsuvara Vayareu Otanu Hamitzrim Vayareu Chanunu Vayitnu Aleinu Avoda Kashak Vanitzak El Adonai Elohe Avotenu Vayishma Adonai Et Kolenu Vayar Et Onienu Ve'et Amalenu Ve'et Lagatzenu Vayotzienu Adonai Mimitzrayim Beyad Hazakah Uvizro Netuya Umora Gadol Uvertot Umofetim.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chayei olam nata b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Good job. Thank you. It's okay. I got it. Thank you. With these words of Torah still in our minds and in our ears, we think of those who are in need of healing at this time. Healing of body, healing of soul, healing of mind. If you or somebody that you know are thinking of someone in need of healing at this time, please feel free to share their name in the chat, or feel free to share their name aloud or in your heart as my hand passes over your section. We'll pause a moment in case any of our friends on Zoom are still typing. For all those whose names that we've said aloud, those that we've typed in the chat, and those that we keep in our hearts, we turn to page 371 for the words of Misha Berach. Misha Berach Avotenu Mekor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mekor HaBracha Leavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shalema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. We now redress the Torah and prepare it for returning to the Ark, and it's my pleasure to invite Alan Eisenbruck to help me with that and for everyone to please rise. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Page 374. Eitz chaim hi v'machazikim ba v'tomchecha meushar deracheha darchei noam v'chol netivoteha shalom. Hashivenu Adonai elecha v'nashuva Chadesh Chadesh Yameinu Chadesh Yameinu Kekedem. Thank you. Please be seated. This week, in Parashat Ki Tavo, we are quickly approaching Moses' final farewells to Am Yisrael. The Torah portion, as Sean so beautifully read just moments ago, starts with a hopeful vision. When you enter into the land that has been given to you as a heritage, you shall settle in the land and make sure to give the first fruits of the soil as an offering to God. While we could understand this as a commandment like any other, what I see here is so uplifting. It feels like cheerleading almost. When you enter into the land and you settle and make it into your home, and you have a successful harvest. This sentence is one that so many of our ancestors in Am Yisrael could only dream of. And yet, this sentence does not start with any qualifiers. If it happens, maybe if some of these things take place. If you kind of get into the land, you might not be settled all of the way, but you have enough land that you can grow a crop or two and it grows something. There's no kind of ifs or ands or maybes or kind of. This is a confident statement that shares words of hope that Am Yisrael will arrive to a place that they have been pursuing all of this time and during the times of their parents and their grandparents. That they will be able to make a home for themselves, and that they will be able to harvest, meaning that they will be able to feed themselves, to support their families, and to continue their covenant with God, giving thanks and giving offerings. As Ki Tavo goes on, we see a theme that is present here in much of the rest of the Torah portion: blessings and curses. According to this Torah portion, the blessings and curses that will befall Am Yisrael are directly correlated to whether or not they will follow God's laws. As you read the different curses that come to be, we might wonder if that is really the covenant that we really want to keep on going with, because they do not sound like a fun time. But the blessings are blessings that even to this day sound pretty nice. And just to know that this is part of a covenant, just to know that this is part of a relationship with God, that God will be looking out for Am Yisrael, is one that, again, shows a certain sense of connection and hope and love. As we navigate through this month of Elul, preparing for the high holidays, and as we navigate in our lives, always trying to figure out how to be our best selves, I want to highlight a text that starts at the end of this week's Torah portion and continues on into the beginning of next week's Torah portion, Parshat Nitzavim. We read in Deuteronomy chapter 30, "When all these things befall you, the blessing and the curse that I have set before you, and you take them to heart amidst the various nations to which your God Adonai has banished you, and you return to your God Adonai, and you and your children heed God's command with all your heart and soul, just as I enjoin upon you this day, then your God Adonai will restore your fortunes and take you back in love. God will bring you together again from all the peoples where your God has scattered you, even if your outcasts are at the ends of the world. From there your God will gather you. From there God will fetch you. And your God will bring you to the land that your fathers possessed, and you shall possess it. And God will make you more prosperous and numerous than your ancestors. Then your God Adonai will open up your hearts and the hearts of your offspring to love Adonai with your heart and soul, in order that you may live. Surely, this instruction which I enjoin you upon this day is not too baffling for you, nor is it beyond your reach. It is not in the heavens that you should say, who among us can go up to the heavens and get it for us, and impart it to us, that we may observe it." I take away 3 important messages from this passage. 1, our story does not end just because we reach the first goal that we set out to work on. We still have many weeks before we are finished with the Torah, and yet when we accomplish our dream, arriving somewhere, Am Yisrael is finally arriving into the land, and God willing, it says when, not if, they are feeling at home, they have some sustenance and stability, they still have more work to do, and so do we. Even after we accomplish a goal, we still are not at the end of our journey. We still have more work to do. Number 2, it's assumed that we're going to mess up. It's the human way. It turns out that in the Torah, it's not giving some kind of assumption that we're going to do this perfectly at first. Instead, it actually assumes that we're probably going to mess up. It's probably not going to be pleasant when we mess up. As somebody who doesn't like to mess up myself, I can tell you, I don't like when I mess up. It feels terrible. And we're going to mess up, but we can come back. Although we can look at chapter 30 as talking about a political statement about the diaspora and then coming back to the land of Israel, we can also understand it as a text that talks about redemption, that we, even after we mess up, when, not if, when we mess up, we will still have the capacity to do teshuvah, to hold ourselves accountable, and then we will be worthy of blessing once again. If we mess up, that is not the end of the line for us. We still have options. And we can still choose to act in the way that lives within our values, that is following the way we know we should. And lesson number 3. Lo bashamayim hi. It is not in the heavens. We have what it takes to live the lives that we are destined for. God does not want us to be set up for failure. And the Torah, the instructions on how to live a good life, how to be our best selves and the best version of Am Yisrael, these are meant to be graspable in our hands. Lo bashamayim hi. It is not in the heavens that we should say, who among us can go up and get it for us? We don't need Moses to save the day. We don't need superheroes or, people with super amazing talents. It's nice to have those people sometimes, but each and every one of us, especially when we are in community with one another, has the capacity to succeed. And yes, we're going to mess up along the way, but we are capable of being good people and a caring and dedicated community and part of a better world if we dedicate ourselves to it. This Shabbat, may we take these words of hope with us. May they console us when we are feeling hopeless or in despair, or when we are beating ourselves up because we messed up and we don't know what to do. And may they inspire us when we have the strength to better ourselves and our world even more. Kain Yehirat Zon, may this be God's will. We continue on page 586 with the words of Aleinu. Please rise in all the ways you are able. Aleinu l'shabeach la'adon hakol, la'tet gedula liotzer breshit, shelo asanu kigoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishbechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim umishtachavim umodim lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu v'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad. Please be seated. We take this moment to think of those who are no longer with us on this earth, but remain with us in our memories of them, in their legacy, and in the way that they influence how we walk this earth. As your loved one's name is read, please rise. This Shabbat, we are in the period of Shloshim, the 30-day period since burial for Edna Feirar, remembered by James Cohen. And this Shabbat, we remember those whose yahrzeits occurred this past week. David Birchstein, father of Marcy Roth. Dora Brand, remembered by Sharon Sachs. Isabel Dreyfus, remembered by Martha Garcia. Helga Eagle, remembered by Joe Eagle. Paul Katz, stepfather of Phyllis Domino. And Chris Toth, husband of Susan Toth. We now invite all who are observing their first year of mourning to rise at this time. And we now rise as a community with our mourners as we turn to page 598 for the words of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitzgadal v'yitzkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divra chirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayechon uvyomechon, uvchaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehe shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam ulalmei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal shemei dekudsha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma v'imru, amen. Yehe shlama Rabbah min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol yoshvei tevel v'imru, amen. Zichronam livracha, may all of their memories be for a blessing, to which we say, amen. Please be seated. And it is my pleasure to invite up Gigi Dornfest to share some words of announcement on what is going on in the community.
I'm sorry, this is a little bit long. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
The high holidays are coming, and our high holiday webpage is live. Check it out to find out about everything happening at TBT for the high holidays. Cheryl Cohen, TBT president, and her family are inviting the entire Temple Beth Torah community to celebrate her 65th birthday together. They will be providing a lunch following Rosh Hashanah morning services for those who are able to attend in person. This year, so we can be best prepared to greet you, we're encouraging people to let us know which services they're planning to attend. You can register for as many as you'd like on one simple form and can update your preferences anytime. And more things high holidays. We need you. Join us at 6:45 p.m. before services next Shabbat to help us prepare by folding programs and testing the memorial board lights. Also, please contact Cheryl Cohen if you can help with additional simple administrative tasks or would like to be an usher during services. Such a mitzvah. Please sign up online to support the Rosh Hashanah Oneg or contact Arlen Bitter PV. Note these upcoming deadlines. Friday, September 8th for the high holiday greeting. Wednesday, September 20th for the Yitzker book. Join us for Slichot, study session, and ice cream social on Saturday, September 9th at 7 p.m. This is an in-person only event. On Sunday, September 10th at 1 p.m., come experience reverse tashlich at Lake Elizabeth. And don't forget to donate to our annual food drive for the Alameda County Community Food Bank. The food drive is an online-only event. Not related to high holidays, please note that Torah study will be resuming on Sunday, September 10th on Zoom. Contact Rabbi Zoe for more details. Thank you to Cindy Monroe for being our AV guru today. Thank you to Joel Stroud and Susan Amaro for representing the worship committee tonight. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And thank you to Gigi, who is not only our board rep. You might wonder, what is it that she does on our board? She is our executive secretary, I believe is the title, and she provides so much to our community. If you ever get the chance to see some of the creativity that she does when she gives the Beth Torah. It's actually very cool. So we're very grateful to the way that she contributes to our community. And also, I'll just give an extra plug. If you're planning to be at services next week anyways, just come in a little bit early, 6:45. We'll hang out, we'll schmooze, we'll fold some programs. It'll be a great time. So I hope to see you there. We are going to continue with gratitude, and we are going to start off with a family blessing. If you are in the same room as somebody that you consider family, however you define it, I encourage you to reach out to them. And if you are not in the same room as somebody that you would like to send this blessing to, you can hold them in your heart and on your mind. And we say this blessing. May God bless you and keep you. May God shine God's face upon you and be gracious to you. May God's face turn to you and grant you peace, to which we say, Amen. Amen. And we'll continue with blessings of Motzi, or Kiddush and Motzi. The blessings can be found on page 123. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava u'vratzon hinchilanu Zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit, ki hu yom techila lemikra'e kodesh, zecher letziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'charta, ve'otanu kidashta, mikol hamim, V'shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. L'chaim. And we continue with the Motzi. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. We are going to have a concluding song, and then we're going to conclude with shofar, since it is the month of Elul. But for the time being, the words are Ki Eshmera Shabbat, which is on page 100 and 129. Ki Eshmera Shabbat, El Yishmereni, Ki Eshmera Shabbat, El Yishmereni, Oti Le'al Me'ad, Beino Uveini, Oti Le'al Me'ad, Beino Uveini. So, if you brought a shofar, you can feel free to do a tekiah with me. And I'll say that whoever wants to be our shofar caller can say tekiah on the count of, I'm going to put this over here. Okay. 1, 2, 3. always the second time that get. See, we will mess up. But we'll get redemption. We'll get a second chance. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Shabbat shalom to our friends on Zoom. We're so glad that you were here.